Let's see if I've got this right. Well, that's settled.
Here's my answer. No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
It's taken time, but I believe I've finally made sense of the bizarre events we've witnessed here.
You've worked it all out?
For the most part.
Come on then, out with it!
Yes, of course. I have much to say about this city and its secrets. The London we are presently in, this London of the future, is a fake. More precisely, it's a set designed to make us believe that we've traveled 10 years into the future. Because, you see, there is no time machine. Not here, not anywhere.
What?
We were all led to believe that the clock shop was a portal to the future. But the truth about that shop is in some ways just as bewildering. The back room of the clock shop is no time machine. It's a lift leading down into the earth. You mean to say we're underground right now? Precisely. You may have heard of subterranean caverns, as some of them house ancient ruins. Some experts theorize that these caverns pepper the entire Earth. What I've seen here leads me to conclude that Dimitri used one such cavern to build this false London. It's as if we're standing in the largest film set ever created.
What? I can hardly believe it.
So Dimitri is behind all this then? But why?
That question stumped me as well.
Why would he go to such pains to make us believe we're in the future?
It doesn't make sense, unless convincing people of this is the key to achieving his ultimate goal.
What kind of goal requires a setup like that?
It's simple. It seems that Dimitri never gave up his original dream of building a time machine. But though he poured all his energy into achieving this feat, the task was too large for one man. He needed other scientists to support his project, so he turned to the greatest minds in London. But to keep the scientists working for him, they needed to believe that they were in the future.
Why?
Think about it, Luke. Dimitri couldn't imprison the scientists, not in the conventional sense. After all, who knows what kind of work they would produce under those circumstances? No, Dimitri needed a different approach to compel the scientists to complete his research. The scientists had to want the time machine to work as much as Dimitri did. So he told them that they had been shot forward 10 years in time, stranded a decade from home. Dimitri misled the scientists, telling them that the time machine was an unfinished project. They thought they were stranded, and that the machine was their only hope of returning home.
Ah, so that's why they were so willing to follow orders.
That's all I've been able to work out. Perhaps our friend here can fill us in on the rest.
I see you've caught on. Excellent work as always, Herschel.
The family uses this establishment as a hideout. Therefore, it seemed a bit odd that the bartender didn't so much as raise an eyebrow when we walked in.
I have to give credit where it's due. I never imagined you'd work out so much of the plan yourself. I suppose I've no choice but to shut you up for good. I should have known I wouldn't fool you, Herschel.
I've worked things out on my own this far, but I need you to help make sense of the rest. You must have had some reason for concocting a scheme this wild.
I had a very good reason. It all started about 10 years ago. Bill Hawks and I were friends and colleagues. We worked in the same lab researching time travel. Our research meant everything to us. We poured our hearts and souls into uncovering the secrets of space and time. After months of progress, we had built ourselves a prototype time machine. It was finally time to test our work with a human subject. Bill thought we should use Claire as the first test subject. She was our lab assistant. I, of course, vehemently opposed this idea. I loved her too, you see. And though she didn't return my feelings, I didn't want to risk her getting hurt in the experiment. Around this time, I noticed a flaw in the design of our machine. I begged Bill to postpone the experiment, but he wouldn't hear of it. Sometime after the accident, I made a startling discovery. Unbeknownst to me, Bill had made a deal to sell the technology behind the machine's power source. Apparently, a large corporation had offered him a very impressive sum. Bill knew the machine wasn't ready for a human subject, but he needed to demonstrate its viability. We all know the tragic results of his decision. By the time I realized Bill planned to go ahead with the experiment, it was too late to stop. What have you done? Because of Bill's greed, Claire was lost to me forever. Life is full of cruel twists. In the blink of an eye, I lost my life's work and the love of my life. To say I was a broken man would be an understatement. Bill, on the other hand, made a full recovery from his injuries. He also completed the deal with the corporation, pocketing more money than most people see in a lifetime. He used his newfound fortune to climb the political ladder to the very top. He killed Claire and was rewarded with the most powerful seat in government. If that's not a cruel joke, I don't know what it is. I can't pretend I wasn't bitter, and it was this bitterness that sent me back to my research. I thought that if I could travel to the past, I could rob Bill of all that he had won. Oh, of course, there was another reason why I wanted to go back in time, to save Claire from her fate. Surely you understand, Herschel.
Claire is no longer with us. There's nothing anyone can do to turn back time.
Do you really believe that?
I don't want to, but I do. I have just one more question for you.
What is it?
Someone's been using you as a pawn. Are you aware of this?
What are you talking about?
Someone here masterminded a scheme even more awful than yours, Dimitri. And that person is there!
I think you're mistaken, Professor.
No, there's There's no mistake here, and there's no hiding it anymore, Luke. Or should I call you Clive? It took some time to put together the pieces of your plan, but when I finally understood it all, the sheer evil of it sent a chill down my spine.
What is he talking about, Clive?
You kept your true intentions hidden from everyone, Clive. Even your partner, Dimitri.
What are you saying, Herschel?
Clive was aiming for revenge on a massive scale, and you were nothing more than a pawn, Dimitri.
Tremendous work, Professor! You found me out.
Stop speaking in riddles, Layton. What's this all about?
Clive, you lived next door to the lab that exploded 10 years ago. You were just a child then. That blast demolished half of the building you lived in. Reports indicate that 10 people were killed in the explosion, 2 of whom were your parents. It must have been a terrible shock. In the span of a few seconds, you lost your family and your home. When the initial shock wore off, it was replaced with anger. You became obsessed with exacting revenge on those who had wronged you. You were lucky enough to be adopted by a kindly woman in her golden years, Constance Dove. Miss Dove's extreme kindness was matched in scale only by the enormous fortune she possessed. You two lived quite happily as a family for a time. Sadly, it wasn't to last. Miss Dove departed from this world 5 short years later, leaving her fortune to you. Before long, you graduated from secondary school and took a part-time job at a prominent newspaper. Considering your sizable inheritance, I don't think you took the job for pocket money. You were searching for something. Using the newspaper's resources, you finally hunted down the men responsible for your misery. You knew that both Bill Hawks and Dimitri Allen were responsible for the explosion. Armed with this information, you concocted a plan to avenge your parents. First, you befriended Dimitri and convinced him to resume his research on the time machine. Then, you used your inheritance to set up this elaborate facsimile of London. With your stage in place, you used your contacts in the press to find the best scientists in the country. After all, you would need quite a bit of help to complete this time machine. You then proceeded to lure these brilliant men into your trap. However, unbeknownst to Dimitri, most of your staff were not working on the time machine.
What?
Clive had secretly reassigned many of the scientists to a different project. You might think of it as his pet project.
We don't have all day, Layton. What was the second project?
A weapon designed to cause destruction on an unimaginable scale.
A weapon? Is this true, Clive?
And I thought scientists were supposed to be observant. While you focused on your machine, I had a different goal. Though some may call it revenge, I prefer to think of it as justice over single-minded scientists and corrupt politicians.
What are you saying, Clive?
Enough explanations! Let me show you!
Hey!
way! Move to higher ground!